Hello, everybody, and welcome to WDW Radio Live. I am Lou Mongello, and this is the WDW Newscast for Wednesday, February 25th, 2015. I'm here, as I am every week, to help you have the best possible Disney vacation experience. And if you can't get to Disney as often as you like, I want to help bring you a little bit of Disney magic wherever you are. You can watch and chat with us live every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here at WDWRadioLive.com. You can subscribe to the podcast in iTunes. You can also check out WDWRadio.com for our blog, videos, special events, my Walt Disney World trivia books, money-saving guide, audio tours, free app, newsletter, and lots more. Whether you are planning your first trip or you just love the history, the details, the secrets, stories, and interviews, there's something here for everybody. I want to start off, too, by saying quick thanks to everybody who is part of the charter members of WDW Radio Nation. If you visit WDWRadio.com/support, you can find out how you can help the show and get some rewards in return, including custom, personalized Magic Band covers, scavenger hunts, exclusive logo gear, care package I'm going to box up and send to you, early access to event tickets, private video call-in shows, shirts, backpacks, more. It's completely optional. It's a way for you to help the show and a way for me to say thank you. Speaking of thanks, I want to say quick thanks to Corey Hall, Josh Danzig, Joy Johnston, Michael Wolf, Joseph Metz, Chris Alder, Dominic Gallo, the Donkey Chip Guy, Matt Madsen, Jess Copper, Matthew McCabe, Gary Zerilli, many, many more. Again, visit WDWRadio.com/support for more information. Really excited for tonight's show, and I want to get right into really what was kind of the big news this week. And actually, earlier today, I did a few interviews for some media outlets, including like the New York Post, about this story. And that's really getting, as it always seems to, get a lot of mainstream media attention. And I don't think it should surprise anybody that Walt Disney World ticket prices went up again this year. And that's what sort of surprises me about all the attention that the story continues to get year after year. And the reason why is because ticket prices have gone up every single year, except for, I think, 1976, little trivia fact. I think that was the only year ticket prices didn't go up. And since 2005, on average, ticket prices have gone up about $4. And I think the important thing to remember is everybody's talking about the fact that Walt Disney World ticket prices are $100 a day, right? It's the threshold, that triple-digit threshold that Walt Disney World is the first, not going to be the only, to cross. And I think the important thing that people need to think about and remember is that most guests, the average guest, does not buy a one-day $100 ticket, right? Most guests who come there buy multi-day tickets, resort packages, which makes it much, much lower for a per-day cost, far away from $100. So it's not going to cost you $100 per day to go. It costs you less because you're going for more days. The more you play, the more you save, and because you're hopefully staying at a Walt Disney World resort. And look, that also increases Disney's bottom line as well, right? They earn more, most likely, from the rooms, the merchandise, and the food than they do from the tickets alone. And as I said before, what's going to likely happen, as it happens every year, is that the other attractions in the area are going to be very soon to follow suit, right? This is what happens every year. Disney World or whomever is the one to release first. They garner the most attention, and then the other ones follow suit. Whether it's $99, $104, $105, they're all sort of in that same dollar amount. And people say, well, why? Why is the ticket price going up? Take things out of the equation like just basic inflation. You know, there's a lot happening at Walt Disney World, right? It doesn't have to necessarily mean a new attraction opening every 6 months or every year. There's new additions coming to the parks, including new resort accommodations at the Polynesian, Pandora, lots of expansion going on over at Disney's Animal Kingdom, some you can see, some that you can't see. There's technology improvements, Magic Bands, the apps, so much going on behind the scenes. Every small improvement, right? Every little thing, the improvements to the hub, all those things cost money, right? All these things are expenses that maybe we don't think about every single day. And I think part of the reason why there's so much discussion about this is because going to $105 for Magic Kingdom crosses that psychological barrier, right? It's that 3-digit, going from 99 sounds like it's a lot less than $105. But I think what we need to keep in mind too is that 99.99% of the time, the guests that leave Walt Disney World feel as though they are still getting great value for their dollar. Look, it's like no other experience in the world. I do believe there is something special about this place, and I have yet to find somebody who walks out and goes, you know, that really wasn't worth my money. I really didn't feel like I got my dollar's worth out of that. And look, from a business perspective, from the Disney company perspective, you know, when Disney released their quarterly results early this month, it blew away any Wall Street estimates, right? So Disney, in terms of stockholders, these are the things that need to get done. As I said before, all these improvements cost money. This is something that happens every single year. This shouldn't be something that is a surprise to anybody. I don't think this $4 increase or $5-6 increase is going to be enough to make people stop going to the parks because of that experience that we have, that level of expectation that is always met, and the type of experience that we have when we go. Again, it's just sort of that psychological barrier. Some people have said, well, you know, what is that point where it may be too much? I don't know. Maybe there is no point. But you also have to keep in mind, too, and I said this to one of the newspapers this morning, is that although you hear a price like that and it sounds like at $105, you know, Walt Disney World and the Disney parks and the Disney cruise lines are not specifically targeted or only for people that earn a lot of money, right? They do a lot of things. They have a lot of systems in place to try and make it as affordable as possible for families to go. So whether it's going during value season, staying at a value resort, free dining, the lowering of the ticket price, the longer you stay, all those things are put in place to make it as affordable as possible. And that's why, for me, in terms of just looking at it as objectively as I can, the increase from $99 to $105 or up to, you know, $99-ish or so for some of the other parks other than Magic Kingdom is not maybe as big of a deal as maybe the media is saying for it. I'm looking people inside the box. They seem to be agreeing with this in terms of what this means or what it doesn't really mean. You know, this is not something that's so dramatic. They're not increasing the prices exponentially. Jimmy Kenny saying, I know I get my money's worth. And he goes by himself. And people are talking about things they do to save money. Shameless plug for 102 ways to save money for and at Walt Disney World. Look, if you're looking for ways to save money, this is not just staying longer isn't the only way. I actually give you 101 other different ways to do it. Again, the plug is there because it's also meant to illustrate a point that you can go to Walt Disney World and there are ways to save money, and your ticket is not going to cost you $100 a day for the most part. So, and I'm looking, a lot of the people in the box seem to say, Beatrice Feeney says, I have so much fun there. It's a no-brainer to have tickets. Kutiki says, if I had to spend all my money on one thing, it would be Disney, right? So, and I think that's what people say. I think because we know the type of experience that you get, that's why tens of millions of people go back every year. Again, going back to one of the questions the interview asked me today was, you know, how do people choose whether it's Disney or going someplace else? I think because we know the level of expectation that we have that always seems to be met. It's a fun, safe place for our families, and we know what kind of experience and the memories that we are going to walk out with. And again, it looks like the people in the box who are watching and chatting live seem to be agreeing with that. Again, I think because we all sort of that same mindset and our love of Disney. But I would love to hear your thoughts, right, about this ticket price increase. Is this triple-digit barrier too much for you to say? Is that where you say, well, that's enough, I'm not going to go anymore? And if so, why? Was it $99 you felt like you're getting your money's worth, and $105 maybe you're not? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can tweet me at Lou Mongello. You can comment over at youtube.com/WDW Radio. You can email me, Lou at WDW Radio, or call the voicemail. Man, get passionate. Let me hear what you feel about it. 407-900-9391. Also, I want to share one last little bit of geeky Disney Marvelish information, because obviously this week Disney released Marvel released the Age of Ultron poster for the film, which opens on May 1st, which I am incredibly excited about. We're actually doing a meetup in Walt Disney World a few days earlier at the Tangerine Cafe in Epcot, because we're going to have our pre-Age of Ultron Avengers Shawarma meetup. Tangerine Cafe. I think this poster, if you are a Marvel fan, has some interesting things. Look just above the Hulk. There's a mysterious character there. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Let's just say I have a vision, but just take a look. I think Age of Ultron is going to be a lot of fun. Thank you again to everybody who's part of WDW Radio Nation. Thank you to MagicYourBand.com for the awesome Magic Band covers as well. And oh, by the way, I'm also still continuing to purge a lot of the stuff I have here in my office and in those boxes in the closet behind me. If you visit WDWRadio.com/eBay, you can bid on some of the items I am putting up from my personal collection, just to make some space in the house. So I want to thank you guys again for taking the time to tune in this and every week. If you're listening on the podcast or you're watching on YouTube, please join us every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to end it here, but I'm going to stay and chat with the people in the box for a while longer while they ask me anything, whether it's about Disney, business, personal, whatever it may be. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Make sure you catch the podcast on iTunes, and hopefully I will see you in the box next week. I'm Lou Mongello. Thanks for watching.